Hello folks, welcome to Fishing Live. You join me today on one of my favourite venues, the River Trent, Burton Joyce near Nottingham. And I want to talk today about a common mistake that I think a lot of anglers make on rivers. And that is neglecting the inside. Now, I had a lesson about this years ago on a hard, cold winter's day on the River Soar. I was putting all my effort into catching these little fish on the long pole. And all of a sudden I looked down at the end of my keep net and I saw two big perch sat off the end of the net, basically watching the fish that were in my net. I dropped a lobworm in front of one of them and caught, it weighed 3 pounds this perch, and it basically doubled my weight on the day. And ever since then I've been particularly cautious to chuck a bit of bait around the end of my net. And what that does is often quite surprising. Sometimes you'll see fish swirling as close as that, especially on venues like this, where if you look to my left you'll see I've got a lot of cover, like reed beds. Slightly to the left there you'll see these nice fish holding features on this inside. So my favourite bait to throw on that line is maggots, and to be honest, maggot fishing's just got even better for me because I've been able to boost my maggots with a new attractant that many of you who follow the Fuka story will have seen. So what I'm actually going to do is get some bronze maggots, put them in a tub. It's a bit of maize there as well, but I'm just going to add to that some of the Sensate liquid. I'm going to give that a little bit of a shake. Probably put, I don't know, a dozen drops in there, a little bit more than I might do normally. Give it a mix round so that's spread out through the maggots, and it's just extra flavour. And then what I thought I'd do while I'm bringing you your weekly fishing forecast this week is see how many fish and what weight roughly I can catch fishing with Sensate flavoured maggots on a top kit. Or it's actually a short whip, it's a 2 metre whip, 017 mainline, 4x10 Preston Chianti float, 010 hook length, and just strung number 10 shots with a little flick tip. So let's have a go. I'm going to move the unflavoured maggots back there. I've got just my Sensate flavoured maggots there. Chuck a few in. Let's see what we can catch for you in 5 minutes while I bring you your weekly fishing forecast. Just direct hooking a bronze maggot, flicking that in, and flicking a few maggots around it. I don't think we'll have to wait too long because of all this lovely cover on the inside. I think there'll be perch down there straight away. Just watching the flow. Actually, believe it or not, the river flows that way, but as you can see that rig's flowing back towards me. It doesn't matter because we've got a perch on. Look at that, straight away, straight in on the Sensate flavoured maggots. So if you're going commercial fishing this weekend, what can you expect? I think it's going to be absolutely belting, folks. It's going to be mild. Temperatures between 18 and 24 degrees on the forecast I'm seeing. Wow, that took it on the drop, that one. 18 and 24 degrees. I still think the fish will predominantly be in shallow water. So if you're going somewhere where you've got an island you can fish up to, make sure you do so. If not, the margins will be really good. If it's a deep water venue, or you want somewhere to fish through the day, obviously shallow fishing is really good. Just keep this Sensate liquid in mind for your shallow fishing. So I know a lot of the time people use casters or fishery pellets with that, but this stuff, it just gives it a different flavour. And I always think on any kind of match you're looking for an edge, something a bit different, and that Sensate attractive, because it's new and not everybody will cotton onto it just yet. For now, those who use it will have it to themselves, so it might just be worth adding a bit of that to your fishery pellets and seeing if you can give yourself a bit of an advantage. What else to say about commercials? Obviously we're at that time of year where you really want to be thinking about targeting the biggest fish. Everything's feeding, so your silvers are feeding and your carp. Make sure you fish with big baits, things like our carpos if you're fishing hard baits, or our fat boys if you're after soft baits, because you can afford to be selective and really sort out those bigger fish. Oh, what with a fast bite. Get over the weed bed there. If you're going on the rivers this weekend, as you can see, they're in fine form. A lot of them, like the Trent here, will be at low summer levels. We've not had much rain. And I've got a little bit forecast next weekend, which is encouraging. Tactics wise, again, in a similar vein to what I'm saying about the commercial fishing, you are going to have to be a little bit selective. As you can see, there's millions of small fish feeding, so if you're after the barbel, chub, fish like that, you need to think about getting past those small fish and catching the bigger ones. So big selective hook baits like Fuca carpos in the bigger sizes will be absolutely perfect. If though you fancy a day on the small fish, you want to try something different, again, why not give maggots, natural baits a go with Sensate attractant? It's something as Fuca anglers have never been able to do before. We've always been limited to obviously baits like 2-in-1, neons, and obviously more recently the tough Fucas. But that liquid opens up a whole new range of possibilities, which I, for one, am really, really excited about. I missed that one. So lastly, canals. I mean, what can you expect if you're going on the canals? Well, to be honest, I think we're coming to the end of the boating season now, or will be over the next couple of weeks. So, although there'll still be the odd straggler, most of your summer holiday traffic, as I like to call it, will be packing up now. So, you can expect good canal fishing and hopefully slightly quieter towpaths from this weekend onwards, as the kids go back to school and things slowly start to quieten down. Tactics wise, Roach will be having an absolute field day, folks. So, well, that's a better perch. Oh, we need to just keep the pressure. Look, a big fish on whip, just keep the pressure on it. That one's actually gone round a reed stem. It's going to come out. And then you can still swing it to hand as long as it's not too big. It's about keeping the pressure on them when they're big, because the only time on a whip they can really break you is if you let it drop. If you keep that bend in the whip, they've always got something to absorb the lunges. It's just gone through the lip there, so I'm just going to wiggle him out. There we are. And we'll try and catch you one more while we finish the fishing forecast. But as you can see, the fish certainly don't seem to mind these Sensate flavoured maggots. Interestingly, I noticed what was happening then. I was drifting a bit further out into the perch. Oh, missed the net. I was drifting a bit further out into the river, and the perch are actually hugging that inside, as we said, so they're next to that weed. So it's easy done when you're in a rhythmic way of fishing like whip fishing. You can sometimes find yourself more sort of obsessed with the motion of what you're doing and moving in a direction away from where you want to be. So always just, like with all kinds of fishing, keep a marker in sight, keep feeding the same spot, and then you've got something to work with and work around. Ooh, lovely fast bite. So yeah, canal fishing wise, folks, again, plenty of roach feeding. Black micros will be really good this weekend feeding hemp. Another good perch. We'll get this one in and we'll sign off. Folks, have a fantastic weekend, and yeah, if you're going on the river, if you're a natural bait fan and you like natural baits as well as our Fuca hookable baits, give the Sensate liquid a try.